And the last thing I'll say, and this is reminiscent of what happened yesterday, why I deferred. Yesterday's hearing blew my mind. I mentioned in the meeting yesterday that I had war gamed this, I had murder boarded it. Like if Durbin says this, then say this. I had gone through, my team had put together a list of like every senator and what they had said. They walked out. Their staff walked out of the hearing. There wasn't a Democrat in the hearing after the initial round of opening statements. First, Durbin gave us showed a video, which was very cute, and then Peter Welsh from Vermont gave some random word salad speech and then walked out of the hearing as well. They're ceding the ground. The idea that they didn't get up there and just go off on Donald Trump for an hour, and we had two, myself and another former aide of Donald Trump's. They should have sat there. I don't mean to give free advice, but the hearing's over, guys. They should have sat there and just gone at us. You want to talk about decision making, Mr. Spicer? I've got 4 decisions I want to ask you about. When this decision was made, did the president vet this? Blah, 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 blah. When this decision was made, did you agree with this decision? What was the president's, they could have gone to town. This isn't just the DNC. Their entire party lacks a fundamental strategy about how to communicate what they're for and what they're against. They've got big, big, monumental problems.
Yeah, and I will say this 2 things, and then we'll go to your questions. This is not us as quote unquote insiders crapping on the DNC or the Democrats. This is objectively a massive problem. As horrible as those stories are, they're understated. Based on my reporting, things are worse than those stories suggest, and in some areas. And the pushback from the Martin camp is he's doing great. This is a bunch of carping from insiders and disgruntled people. Everything's going great. I hope for their sake and for those who care to have 2 strong parties in America that they're just spinning and they recognize the problem, because he is overmatched right now. These are
not the drones you're looking for. Dan, quick question. Logistically, let's just say that there is a come to Jesus within the party, that he's not the right guy. And absent him personally stepping down, is there, it's hard to get rid of somebody who is duly, well, actually, after what you guys did to Biden, who knows? But, but I would say that, like, did the DNC rules allow for this? Because I think there's a difference between asking him to step down and him voluntarily doing that versus the entire DNC saying he's got to go.
So I don't know the bylaws for removing a chair. I'm sure there is something.
Right. But that's my point, is that he's stuck with the guy. He's going to have
to resign. And I think it would require, just like you joke about Joe Biden, it would require like Jeffries and Schumer and the leadership going to him and saying, you've become such a headache and you're not performing. You need to leave, and we're going to come out.
If there were an obvious candidate to replace him, that person might have run against him. There's no obvious person. I'll tell you what they might do, which will be a disaster, is layer him. Bring in what they've had in the past, like with Joe Andrew, have a general chairman, have some former elected or current elected. Never works. Never works.
Well, someone watching who's intimately familiar with this stuff just texted me that Debbie Wasserman Schultz was run out. So there is a
but there's a difference. So the two parties
pushed her.
But just remember that and I can speak to this from the RNC standpoint. There's a difference between a party in power. So when you have the White House, the president runs the RNC. So whether that was Bush or Trump, that's who run. I mean, you are now subordinate. Exactly. You're basically the deputy political director.
But when the members do it,
when the members vote, that's a very different scenario.
Totally agree. And the members are mostly loyal to him because they just elected him, and he's one of their own.
And by the way, here's the other thing. Just keep in mind, the people within the party who aren't with him, the Randy Weingartens, are resigning. Right? David Hogg's gone, Randy Weingart gone. Donna doesn't want to meet with the guy.
Consolidates his power.
I mean, yes.
Well, I think the one thing, though, is you say that, he ran and won. But if some of these candidates that might have done it, but they didn't want to have to run, if the party leadership came and said, hey, would you, like, there's going to be a race. You're going to.
I don't know. Who would it be?
Who is that?
I don't know who it would be.
They say that something that's easy is like a walk in the park. Well, easier than a walk in the park, hit the subscribe button, be part of the two-way community, never miss an episode, be part of our conversations. Thank you for your service to America.